Hi everybody. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. Make sure that you are checking Seesaw for different activities that we're putting on there. And then we have somebody who would like to say hi.
Hi everyone.
There's Alexa.
Bye guys. Have a good day.
Okay, today I'm going to read Chapter 3 in Dark Day in the Deep Sea. Okay, Chapter 3 is called A Creature Named Henry. Jack threw their book into his pack and quickly ran to join Annie. Hi, he said to the three men. Don't be afraid, said Annie. We come in peace. The three men kept gawking. Who are you? One of the sailors sputtered. Jack and Annie walked closer. I'm Jack, and this is Annie, said Jack. The man in the bow tie stepped forward. He had a long mustache and a big friendly smile. My name is Henry, he said. I came ashore to look for rare butterflies, plants, and shells. But it seems I have found a rare creature called a Jack and Annie instead. And we've found a creature called a Henry, said Annie, giggling. That's what we named a pteranodon when we went to the time of the dinosaurs. I beg your pardon, said Henry. She's teasing, said Jack. What an unusual wit, said Henry, his eyes sparkling. Well, you have not only found a Henry, you've also found a Joe and a Tommy, the two able seamen who rowed me here. Hi, Joe and Tommy, said Annie. She gave the two sailors a big smile. But Joe and Tommy didn't smile back. They were both scowling. Where are you from? Joe asked suspiciously. Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, said Annie. Where is that? Asked Tommy. America, said Jack. How nice, said Henry. Why are you here? We're on vacation, said Annie. We're camped with our family back there somewhere. She waved vaguely. Vacation, said Henry. Our parents like to vacation in really out-of-the-way places, said Annie. Henry chuckled. Americans. Are you a scientist from the HMS Challenger? Jack asked. He was eager to change the subject. Why, yes, said Henry. I am one of the team trying to solve the riddles of the deep. Jack loved the sound of that. Riddles of the deep. What kind of riddles have you solved so far? He asked. Well, for one thing, we've learned that the ocean floor is absolutely teeming with life, said Henry. You didn't already know that? Asked Annie. We thought it was probably the case, said Henry. But mind you, many people cannot imagine that life can exist in the icy darkness of the deep. In fact, some still believe there is no floor to the ocean at all. They think the sea goes down forever. Are you serious? Said Annie. Ha! I guess you'll be letting them know that most of the ocean is not more than 2 miles deep. Of course, some ocean trenches are deeper than 6 miles. But, Annie, said Jack. My, you know a lot about the sea, said Henry, looking at Annie with curiosity. Well, I know that mountain ranges and volcanoes are down there too, said Annie. Jack leaned in close to Annie. Stop showing off, he said under his breath. I mean, maybe, just maybe, Annie said to Henry. Of course, I'm only guessing. You are a very good guesser, said Henry. On our voyage, we've collected many volcanic rocks from the deep. Cool, said Annie. How'd you get them? Mini subs? Mini subs? Asked Henry. You know, they carry you down into the deep sea, said Annie. Annie, said Jack between his teeth. He gave her a long look that said, just stop. Jack was pretty sure mini subs hadn't been invented by the early 1870s. He quickly changed the subject again. And you study butterflies too, he said, pointing to Henry's net, and seashells? Indeed, I do, said Henry. In fact, I came ashore to search for a rare shell just now, and I think I may have found its cousin. He opened his book to a page that showed a pencil drawing of the shell. Would you like us to help you look for more? Asked Annie. And here's the picture. Why, thank you, said Henry, but I have quite successfully found what I came for. We'll be going back to the ship now. "Oh, please, can we visit the HMS Challenger?" Annie blurted out. "Out of the question," said the sailor named Joe. "Well, said Henry. "Sir, the captain would never approve of bringing children on board," Tommy broke in. "It's absolutely against the rules." Henry looked at Jack and Annie. Jack didn't want to break any rules, but at the same time, he really wanted to visit the ship. "We'd really like to learn more about sea exploration," he said. He gave the scientist a hopeful smile. "We promise not to get in anyone's way," said Annie, "and our parents like us to learn new things." Henry turned back to two seamen. "Surely such bright and curious young people should be allowed to visit our ship," he said. "Since we'll be drifting and dredging in this area all day, we can return them to shore before nightfall." Joe and Tommy frowned at each other, but Joe finally gave a quick nod. "Yay," Annie said. "Thanks," said Jack. "We promise we won't cause any trouble." "See that you don't," said Henry with a smile. "Joe and Tommy, would you mind lending our two visitors our life preservers?" "Never fit 'em, sir," said Joe. "Well, we must do what we can to keep them safe," said Henry. The two seamen grudgingly handed Jack and Annie their bulky vests. "So these are old-fashioned life preservers," thought Jack. The vests were made of blocks of cork tied together. Even though Jack buckled his tightly, it hung low on his body, almost slipping off. "I'm afraid they are rather big," said Henry. "But still they might save your life. They might save you should we capsize." "Don't worry," said Annie. "We're really good swimmers." "We should go now, sir," Joe said impatiently. "Yes, yes," Henry said. "Let us be off." Joe and Tommy pushed the rowboat into the shallow water. While Jack and Annie had been talking with Henry, the water had turned choppy. Dark gray clouds had rolled in, hiding the sun. "Climb in after me," Henry told Jack and Annie, and they followed him into the rowboat. Jack's backpack wouldn't fit over his life jacket, so he clutched the pack to his chest as Joe and Tommy pushed the boat farther into the ocean. The sailors jumped in, picked up their oars, and began rowing back to the ship. And that's the end of chapter 3. So tomorrow, I'll read chapter 4. Okay, today, in a little bit, I'll be teaching a math lesson, so make sure that you get your math ready. Okay, have a good day. Okay, today in math, we're going to learn about reading bar graphs. So I'd like you to make sure that you have out the packet that starts with the one you see on my screen for lesson 6. It's called Read Bar Graphs. So on this page, we have favorite gym activities. So people picked what their favorite gym activity is. There's running, jumping jacks, and push-ups. Now, next to each of the activities, there are colored in bars. So that tells you how many people picked that activity. So along the bottom, you have the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That helps you see how many people picked that activity. So let's go on. Okay, one person picked running because there's one purple bar next to running. There are 6 green bars colored in next to jumping jacks. So you write a 6 at the end of jumping jacks. And then 4 people picked push-ups. So you would write a 4 at the end of push-ups for the 4 orange bars that are colored. Okay, on the next page, it says, the bars in a bar graph tell how many. Look where each bar ends. Read the number. So the numbers along the bottom help tell you how many of each one there are. So we have favorite day of the week. We have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So how many picked Friday? Well, you count the bars. Or you can look down at where the colored bars end, and that'll tell you how many. So there are 3 that liked Friday the most. So trace over the 3. And then there are 5 that picked Saturday, so trace over the 5, and 2 that picked Sunday, so trace over the 2. Okay, number 1 asks, well, we're going to use the graph above to answer the question. So we're going to use the favorite day of the week graph. Number 1 asks, how many people chose Sunday? Look at the graph, write the number on the line. If you look at Sunday, there are 2 green bars colored. It ends at 2, so you would write a 2 on the line. Number 2 asks, how many people chose Friday and Saturday? So you're going to do some counting on, because you need to look at the graph, and there are 3 that picked Friday, and there are 5 that picked Saturday. So 3 plus 5 is 8. So on the line, you should write 8, and then you need to think about what label would go with that. What word would go with that? It asked how many people chose Friday and Saturday. So you would write 8 people. Number 3, which day has 1 less vote than Friday? So you're comparing Friday to a day that has 1 less, 1 fewer than Friday. Well, if you look at the graph, Friday has 3, Sunday has 1 fewer, Sunday has 2. So on the line, I want you to write the word Sunday. Make sure you have an uppercase S at the beginning. Just copy it down right from your graph. Okay, number 4 asks, which day has 2 more votes than Friday? So if you look at your graph, you're comparing Friday to the day that has 2 more. So the one that has 2 more is Saturday. So you're going to write Saturday on the line. Make sure you write it exactly like it is in your graph. Uppercase S, the rest of the letters are lowercase. Number 5 asks, how many people were surveyed? That means how many people voted on their favorite days of the week. So you have to add all of them together. So there were 3 on Friday, 5 on Saturday, so 3 plus 5 is 8, and then 2 on Sunday, so 8, 9, 10. So you write a 10 on the line. Then at home, I want you to talk to somebody about the question at the bottom. Why is the graph above called a bar graph? Why do they call it a bar graph? Talk to somebody at home about that. Okay, then on the next page, it says use the graph to answer the questions. So number 6 asks, how many people chose turkey? So the graph is called favorite sandwich. So people voted for what their favorite sandwich was. We have peanut butter, turkey, and ham. Then up along the side, this is a vertical bar graph, so it's going up and down. So along the side, we have the numbers 0 through 9. So if you look at the last colored bar and you go over to the side, that'll tell you how many there are. Or you can count the bars, okay? But it's a lot quicker if you look at where the colored bar ends and you go over to the side and look at the number. So, how many people chose turkey? So, we look at turkey, we go along, we go over to the side at where the colored bars end, and it would be how many? Write the number on the line. Number 7 asks, how many more people chose peanut butter than turkey? So you're comparing peanut butter to turkey. How many more people chose peanut butter than turkey? Write the number on the line. Number 8, did more people choose ham or turkey? So this time you're comparing ham and turkey. Which one did more people choose? So you're going to write either ham or turkey on the line. Number 9, which kind of sandwich is liked better than ham? So is it peanut butter or is it turkey? Which one is liked better or more than ham? So you have to find the one where more people voted for it. Number 10, did fewer people choose peanut butter or turkey? Remember, fewer means less. Did fewer people choose peanut butter or turkey? So you're comparing peanut butter and turkey this time. Number 11, how many people were surveyed? So you have to count how many colored bars there are all together. That'll tell you how many people were asked about their favorite sandwich. So count how many chose peanut butter, how many chose turkey, and how many chose ham. And then write the total number on the line. Okay, on the last page, number 12. A class made a bar graph about what color pencils they use. Which pencil color got less votes than green? So the title of our bar graph is pencil color. We had yellow, blue, and green. Remember, the numbers along the bottom of the graph help tell you how many. So which pencil color got less votes than green, got fewer votes than green? Is it blue or is it yellow? Write the word on the line. Okay, at the bottom, brain builder, number 13. Which kind of cacti has more votes than a hedgehog? How do you know? So if you look at the graph, we have types of cacti seen. Cacti are different types of cactuses. So we have saguaro, prickly pear, and hedgehog. So which kind of cacti has more votes than hedgehog? There's one that has more than hedgehog. So you're comparing hedgehog with one that has more. Okay, then I want you to write that in words on the line. And then I also want to know, how do you know? Write that in words. How do you know that? And I'd like you to talk to somebody at home about this too. Okay, have a good day, everybody.